What's up guys, I'm here next to my brand new Transition repeater. This is the first e-bike from Transition. A lot of people thought that Transition would never hop on board the e-bike train, but I'm very stoked to see that they finally did. I was lucky enough to get my hands on one of these very early after the release. So with that being said, I took it down somewhere warm, down to North Carolina to ride Canoga to get some proper laps on this bike and really test it out and see how I like it. So before we dive into my first impressions and what I think about the bike, I'm gonna roll through the footage of me riding at Canoga, and then we'll get to how I like it.
Whoa! That means I gotta ride fast! So wild. Oh my God! We're straight into the bars.
Now, before I dive into what I think about the bike, I want to make it clear up front that we are not supported or sponsored by Transition directly in any way. We got hooked up with Roll Bicycles here in Columbus, Ohio. So if you're anywhere in the area looking for a new bike, Transition, Santa Cruz, Giant, GT, brands like that, they can get them for you. So hit us up, hit them up. Super cool bunch of dudes that run that shop. So let's talk about the bike. The first thing you'll notice about the bike is that it looks very similar to another bike in their lineup, a non-e-bike, and that is the Sentinel. This bike was essentially built around a Sentinel platform, as far as I know. So this is a 160 bike, very similar to the Sentinel full 29er, and it looks a lot like all of their other bikes too. Same straight line styling that looks super good. I'm not really out here to talk about all of the little parts and components on the bike. This is a bottom end NX build that I'm running stock right now. The only thing that I did change was tires. I put some Kenda Hellcats on there that made it ride a lot better. I will be replacing a lot more parts with personal preference parts that I want. So a Fox 38 is going on, Shimano XT brakes are going on, a new carbon wheel set is going on that I am thinking about making a mullet. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm really here just to talk about the bike as a whole, the new Shimano motor that's in it and how it performs. So I spent some time on the Specialized Bros motor, a little bit of time on the Bosch motor, and also some time on the Rocky Mountain e-bikes. I have yet to spend some time on the new Shimano EP8 before I got this bike, and I'm very impressed with it. The EP8 feels very similar to what you get out of the Bros motor from Specialized, where it kind of sort of feels like it's almost pushing you up the hill a little bit more than compared to the Rocky Mountain, where it's very sensitive to rider input, and the second that you stop putting input in, like on a normal bike, the bike slows down. So that's where the key differences are at, in my opinion, and I'm a big fan of the EP8. I was a big fan of how the Bros motor felt, so I really like that the EP8 feels similar to that. Let's talk about battery life. I believe this has a 630 watt-hour battery, and I've been very impressed with this. We've spent a lot of time on the Rocky Mountain e-bikes that have a little over a 700 watt-hour battery, so a significant increase over what this one has. But what's interesting is while we were riding down there, one of our buddies, Shreddin' with Sherm, was riding that Rocky Mountain, and we were all riding in trail mode and eco mode throughout the day, and his bike died before ours, and I still had 10 miles left on this bike according to the monitor. So apparently the Rocky has a bigger battery. Maybe that battery's degraded, but it really hasn't been ridden a lot. Overall, this one lasted longer, so I'm stoked on that. Now, you may have noticed in those riding videos the rattling sound that you heard. This is not the battery. This is not the motor like you guys think. Our buddy Roger also has a repeater, and he was riding there with me, and his bike was completely silent. What I think it is some of the internal routing came loose, and I need to go in there with some double-sided tape and silence that up. So the noise you're hearing isn't anything to worry about. It's not common with all of the bikes. I just need to track it down and make it quiet again. Other than that, this bike feels very similar to the other transition bikes in their lineup. I'm on a Patrol, my brother Chase is on a Spire, and this bike, looking at it, immediately looks very similar to how their other bikes look, so you can expect that it would perform similarly as well, which it does. Climbs super well, descends super well. For a 50-pound bike, it feels very good jumping and through chunky bits. I mean, overall, you can tell that I'm just super happy with the bike, and we are very happy to finally have e-bikes. We're definitely gonna be making a lot more videos about why e-bikes are awesome and why really everyone should have one. A lot of people out there still might be skeptical on these, but I promise you, in the coming videos, we're gonna show you why e-bikes are something that everyone should have.